right, folks, we're going to have a very unusual meeting today, and I'm going to apologize up front. It's going to be intimate, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be passionate, and I'm not going to ask folks to necessarily give their opinion because you're on camera. So we're going to officially give the pledge, we're going to introduce our attorney, and I'm going to end this meeting early, and you're going to all understand why. And we have the NYPD, and I normally applaud them. I'm a little disappointed today, but we'll find out in a little bit. So we're going to get the American flag, and it's unfortunate we have to go through this tough process, but you're all going to find out soon enough. So let's get the flag. We'll vote in. We have the flag. We have the flag. We have the flag. All right, folks, let's rise. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we're going to go right into, oh, you want to talk
Yes.
first?
All right, folks, so we have an attorney here. Is this on?
Wait, I got to turn it on. Second? Go ahead.
Okay, folks. Can anybody hear me? Yes. Testing? Okay. Oh, I'm taking a breath because
Closer.
I'm taking a breath because I'm really disappointed, not in the good folks of City Island, but unfortunately in what's happening right now. So just to recap for the folks that haven't been here in the last couple of months or the last several years, I'll lay it out. We've had a group of individuals, and I can't understand why, that have systemically harassed, cyberbullied, electronic harassed, followed people on City Island, taking their pictures, intimidating people, and filming against their will. We've had businesses called, the people, city and state agencies weaponized, where the Department of Buildings have been called on neighbors, our neighbors, businesses, the Black Whale, the American Legion. And, you know, we all want to go about our everyday lives, but it grew to such a point that City Island joined together in such an effort, never before that I've seen in a long, long time, where we had an election where we had the highest amount of membership ever. We've had the highest voter turnout and the highest win ever. Now, we had hoped it would have ended at that, and we can get to the business of doing good things for City Island. Now, for the most part, things have calmed down, but there's always one that feels they need to skate uphill and harass everyone else. So what happens, it's not so much that we're against people videotaping or getting the news out. That's what minutes are for. But when you have people stand up and they say they're for freedom of the press, understand, we're not Congress, and he's not CNET. He's not, what was that? What's the, C-SPAN, right? And when he no sooner does he get home than there are screenshots, people being attacked. He even put me as his profile picture on Facebook. Now, it's not about me personally, but if I'm the president of the City Island Civic, of a private membership, and he's doing this to me, who won't he do this to? Who won't he intimidate? And who wants to take this voluntary seat? Believe me, this brings me no pleasure. So we took a vote in front of the captain and other officers that are in this room. 3% agreed with him. 60 votes to 2 do not want their images taken or to be videotaped. So Steve Zizwicki, who is not a member in good standing.
I am a member.
He is not a member. Please be quiet. Please be quiet.
No.
Please be quiet.
No.
Please be quiet.
No.
He is causing a disturbance, and I am asking you to please be quiet.
In January.
I am asking you to please be quiet. Will you be quiet?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'd like a time to respond.
No time. You are not acknowledged. You are not a member in good standing, and I'm asking you to stop this disturbance in this private meeting. You really need to stop this disturbance.
Please proceed.
No, stop
All
talking.
right, Bill, let me introduce
So what?
you.
No. So what's happening is he is insisting, and he is finding every loophole.
Why won't the
He
NYPD
is
stop me?
Please stop.
Why won't the NYPD
You are
stop me?
causing a disturbance.
Because I'm not doing anything illegal.
I am gonna
No, I'm not.
I am gonna look to
Cops
the
are there.
NYPD in a minute that he's causing a disturbance. So we do not want this gentleman here. He is not a member in good standing. So we have retained a lawyer. The money that you folks pay as a membership is costing all of us money that can go to places better served. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna let the attorney speak. We are gonna look to make amendments to the bylaws, and then we're gonna end this meeting early, because I am not gonna allow this person to disrupt everyone. One person should not be allowed to intimidate, to harass, and to overwhelm this meeting. So with that, I'm gonna let Fred introduce our attorney. Tom, a little nervous. Let Tom introduce our attorney.
Okay, Catherine Campbell, she is the president of Bartow Pell Mansion, and she does pro bono legal work for them. Last year, there was an issue with Pilot Cove Manor, and there was a chance that HUD was going to come in and take it over because there were problems. Catherine came in and did pro bono legal work to help us reconstitute a board of directors, rewrote the bylaws for us, all free of charge. Then there was other legal work that had to be done with HUD. Pilot Cove hired her. We have now hired her as our attorney. Because first there's going to be a bylaws amendment proposed tonight, which would be voted on next month. But also, we want to hire her to completely rewrite the bylaws for us. So it's an unbiased person she does this for a living. And I know this is out of sequence, but I just want to get this out of the way. It could cost us up to somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500. So I'm going to make a motion to allow a fee for our attorney of up to $2,500 for the complete rewriting of bylaws. Do I have a second? Second. What's that? That's not high. We can come back if we need more. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions. Okay, now Catherine is going to explain the open meetings law, which does not apply here. She's going to explain the proposed bylaws amendments, which will then be proposed.
Thank you. Hi, can you hear me? Yes. Excellent. I'm Catherine Campbell. Closer?
Yeah.
Come this way.
Oh, come this way. Oh, okay. Catherine Campbell, I'm an attorney. I work at the law firm of DeBell O'Donnell in White Plains, if anybody knows it. I've been practicing for 25 years, and I've really enjoyed working on some other matters here on City Island. So I'm glad to be here to speak to you today. So first on the open meetings law. New York does have an open meetings law. It applies to any public body. A public body is the government or a quasi-governmental entity. A quasi-governmental entity would be, say, the SUNY schools or the CUNY. So they are obviously a college, an educational institution, but they get all their funding through the state. Private, non-for-profit organizations do not have to comply with the open meeting law. So you can make your own rules and decide who's allowed to attend your meetings. You have no requirement to have anybody attend. Under your bylaws, which Tom has given me a copy of, all members in good standing are required to receive a notice of a meeting and be able to attend. That's your only requirement. Is there anything more that anybody needs to know on that?
Any questions? The chair has to recognize who's ever going to ask questions. The chair, no one there has questions? Okay.
I have a question.
You're not recognized.
Okay, that's convenient.
Okay. So the second item Tom wanted me to present to you was making amendments to your bylaws. To do that right now, the way your bylaws are currently drafted, an amendment is proposed at one meeting and seconded, and then is voted on at the subsequent meeting. So it can't actually be voted on tonight. So Tom wanted me to present 2 amendments to your bylaws. So the first one is about how a membership can be terminated. And this is how it reads. Membership of an individual member is terminated by death, resignation, or expulsion of the member or dissolution of the CICA. Expulsion of a member may be for cause, such as non-payment of annual membership fee, no longer being a bona fide legal resident or owner of residential property on City Island, a violation of any CICA bylaws or other rules approved by the CICA and distributed to the members in good standing, or on other grounds as stated in a motion approved by 2/3 of the members in good standing voting at a meeting. So that was the first one.
So I make a motion that that bylaw be adopted at the next meeting. We have Ted Pryor making a second. Okay, we don't vote or anything now, that's next month.
Okay. The second proposed amendment is expulsion of a member from a meeting. Upon a motion approved by 2/3 of the members in good standing voting at a meeting, a member attending the meeting may be expelled from a meeting for cause, such as, but not limited to, causing a disturbance, exhibiting a lack of decorum, or failing to comply with the rules of the meeting as stated by the chair of the meeting.
Okay, again, I make a motion on that amendment. Teddy Pryor makes a second, and we'll vote on that next month. So, any of the members in good standing who have any questions, go ahead. We're not going to need you to explain the changes in the bylaws, because redoing the complete bylaws, because we already voted on that, so.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, so Bill, you're back on.
Thank you so much, Counselor. All right, now that I've counted to like 3,017, so the way I understand it, folks, just because you pay $20 shouldn't automatically allow you to become part of this sacred, almost 70-year membership. We try and do good things. I don't know why folks try to fight. What I've never heard of is what folks are against and what they want to do differently. Just so you know, what we volunteer to do is quality of life. We fight against drugs and crime, traffic. These are the things we try and do at the Civic. And it seems that there are just several, 2 or 3 players that want to destroy this membership. Why? I have no idea. So we are looking, as part of the bylaws, it's incumbent that all members in good standing come we need a vehicle to vote these folks out. And by the way, they're not even members right now. So this is why next month we take this vote. Get all the folks that are already members. It's important that we vote. You vote your conscience. And we're going to continue with this meeting. I'm not going to let one bad apple destroy this meeting. So we're just going to go ahead with it. But I would just say, be very careful what you say. As one of the officers last month, duly noted that against our will, which we voted against, this is being taped, and in many instances used against us for whatever reason, and people feel intimidated. We've had members come to the officers, and understand, there's not one person on this dais that wants to be filmed. They're being taped against their will. This is not a public meeting, and we do not want to be taped. So I want to take can I take a vote right now?
I just want to make a point. Imagine if this was, say, an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, right? An Alcoholics Anonymous, which is open to anyone. Imagine, and this is private property, but even if it was a city-owned community center and an Alcoholics Anonymous group was meeting, and anybody could walk in and attend that meeting, could you imagine if they were required to allow them to videotape? That's just so ludicrous on its face.
And what's interesting to note, the person filming now, we had Senator Biaggi here. She wasn't taped. There are other meetings. They're not taped. We're taped. It makes you examine the motivations. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna take, can we take a vote how many people, we took it last week, but just,
Another vote,
just,
sure.
enough,
Okay.
we wanna see how many people here wanna give up their images and be subject.
No one's
to
being
be-
filmed
To be subject.
except them.
To
No.
be subject to be put on the internet. So
what?
folks, how many people give their, how many people do not want to be filmed or their voice recorded in this meeting? Raise your hand.
Can we have a count?
Wait,
Well, let's see if anybody.
I think it's unanimous.
Does anybody,
vote
does
yes?
anybody want to be filmed?
One.
Okay.
Anybody abstain? No? And one abstain.
One doesn't care, one abstention. Okay. Well, do me a favor, you're free to sit right there, sir. Because I don't want to. So with that, that was just so everybody, you know, knows where everybody stands in the room. We're gonna move on with this meeting, and I'm just gonna ask the NYPD to observe while they're here, and eventually, if the vote goes the way I think it will, this will be done and washed up next month. So, we have-
Bill, the gentleman from the controller's office, he has to leave. He
Oh.
wants 3 minutes.
Yes.
Sure. Good evening. I didn't, anybody hear me? Nope? No? I thought I could speak without it. I was expecting to come into a meeting, such intimate discussion, but regardless, I'm here. I do have to go to another command, another precinct to present as well, but I wanted to introduce myself. I work with the comptroller, Scott Stringer. My name is Santos Ortiz. I represent the comptroller in 4 community boards, including this community board as well. As some of you might know, the comptroller is the chief financial officer of the city of New York. He is responsible for the pension system of the city, overseeing the pension system of the city, as well as for the transparency and accountability of city agencies. We have done some work here within the island. We have helped in regards to the contract issues and what does the contract say for the Rotman's Neck. Currently right now to build noise barriers, which is currently in the budget now. We have also helped in regards to the buses and the timing of that expansion that you would like to see as well. The comptroller wrote a letter to the MTA regarding this issue, which were voices that came from, of course, the chamber and a roundtable that the comptroller had himself here in this room, probably last year, a few months ago. One of the things that the comptroller has been doing lately, he has been fighting for a chief diversity officer of the city of New York. He was the first comptroller ever to put a chief diversity officer in the comptroller's office. But he wants to expand that. And the reason is simple. You see, last year there were over $16 billion that was spent in contracts in the city. And only 5% went to women and minority-owned businesses. When we talk about inclusion, when we talk about equal pay, when we talk about being progressive in this city, we have yet to give an opportunity to women-owned businesses, as well as the minority-owned businesses, to have a say and have a voice in the billions of dollars that are spent in the city. That is a shame. When we have so much talent out there that is produced by minority and women-owned businesses, and they're not getting the equal share that they should. So he is fighting for a chief diversity officer in the entire city that will make sure that we have the right paperwork, that we have the right say when it comes to giving a fair share to women in the business, as well as to minorities as well when it comes to contracts. There is a petition going on online. I do have my iPad here, but I think I will not pass it around in this meeting. I will come back next meeting, hopefully, and I'll pass it around. And there's so many different things that the comptroller does, and I'm here to help in regards to any quality of life concerns that you might have. I'm available via different means.
Well, you and I are gonna talk in a little while, my friend.
Different means, whether it's 2 cell phones, my landline in the office. You can reach out to me in social media, which is very useful these days. But I'm here to help in whatever we can. So on behalf of the comptroller, thank you. If you have any questions, I'll take any questions. No? Thank you.